memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones in today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back hope. There's a time that I remember, and I did not know the pain. When I believed in forever, everything will stay the same. Now my heart feels like December. Till somebody say your name. And I can't reach out to call you. I know I'll be one day. Yeah. Everybody hurts sometimes. Everybody hurts someday. Everything gon' be alright. Only the best to say. Here's to the ones that we got. Here's to the wish you were here tonight. Every dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones in the night. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Every dreams bring back all the memories. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so low. No pillow of the hatred, just keep on going slow. And my heart feel like an ember, and it's not enough to die. I'll carry these torches for you, but you know I never try. Yeah, everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Everything gon' be alright, only the best to say. Here's to the ones that we got. Here's to the wish you were here tonight. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones in today. That we lost on the way. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories. Memories bring back, memories bring back.
Hey, 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 hey. Good morning, good morning. Nice to see everybody here. We're piling in. Dang. I've had a conflict come up. My daughter is in the hospital. Jason, thank you so much for this super sticker. That's very kind of you. John Sue, hello. I'm not going to be able to make it to ALA. Guess my ticket will be a donation. I do have a ticket if anybody is going and doesn't have a ticket. I'll be happy to give it to them. But I'm not going to be able to go. I've got to stick around and be praying for my daughter. Open location here in Port Charlotte. What hawk? Oh, Fatherfish. I'm closed. My locations are all closed. Got no more locations. My location is here. Glory. Let's see. The stain. Yeah, it does have a wrench. Okay. Guess everybody does. Well, goodness sakes. What a gang here. Christina Whitaker. Hello, hello. Oh. We don't know. She has a severe abdominal pain that's been going on for months, actually years, but it became debilitating. So we don't know what it is. Investigating it for 10 years or more. Thank you so much. Yeah, she appreciates prayer. Let me get a little tea here. Excuse me. So I am feeling very subdued. Let's see. I have a new channel. It's a kind of a religion and commentary channel. It's called Lou Foxwell. It's under this same account, but it is a unique channel. Not everybody's ball of wax, but if that's something that you think might be meaningful for you, come on over and check it out. We're looking to try to get it growing. Lou, L-O-U, Foxwell, F-O-X-W-E-L-L. Ooh, Derek Thompson, hello. Good to see you. I said John Sewer, Mermaid's Chorus is here. Hi there. Roman Chirac, hello, Roman. Oh, who else have I not said hello to? Gordon Hayes. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, type in the comment. I'll get you. Venice area, the Venice Aquarium Society is meeting tomorrow night here in Venice. If you're interested, the Facebook Venice Aquarium Society page will have the directions. Thank you, Hulk. Paul C. Hello, Paul. Good to see you. Ooh. Oh, my. Tam Shepard has posted the link to the Lou Foxwell channel. Thank you, Tam. Thank you so much, Patricia. Thank you, Hulk, for the congrats on 10K. Yeah, that kind of came as a surprise to me. It came up sort of suddenly. I wasn't really expecting it that soon. I thought it would take till the end of the year. There were a couple of people. I know James was one. There were a few people who were pushing pretty hard to help me get there. And I guess their efforts paid off. Thank you so much. Ooh. Oh, I don't know, tired. I about fell asleep. I about slept through. I got up at 7 o'clock, been up a couple of hours. I just feel kind of dazed. Glitch Aquatics, hello, nice to see you. Marky, hello, Marky. Snake Pliskin. A lot of fish tank methods have a thermocline barrier. When I plant new plants, the sand is cold. Amazing to me. How it does this, nature at work. That's really interesting, Snake. I mean, it makes perfect sense, and I do understand why. But I didn't realize that it was happening. I need more coffee. Yeah, I've not had any coffee. I've been drinking tea this morning. That's probably what's wrong. I need to make a pot of coffee and wake up. I just feel dopey. And I'm supposed to do cardiac rehab today. And I think I'd rather sleep, frankly. And I'm also going to have to drive south today and pick up my net because I've got to get out and do some collecting. And it is an hour south of me. Worry. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Probably, Roman. Probably. I have a friend who's going through some real bad times right now, too. Hard times. A thermocline barrier. Okay, why does this happen? It's pretty interesting. Sand is a heat barrier. I never really considered it, but sand reflects heat back. It kind of bounces off of it. It doesn't absorb heat, or if it does, it dissipates it. So it would make sense that the substrate, that the bottom of the substrate, let's set it up this way. Ambient temperature in the room is going to mean that there will be no thermocline because the heat impacting the entire environment, the bottom of the tank, top of the tank, and all sides, is going to be constant. However, if you have a heater in the tank, then the heat in the water, the heat in the water will rise, and that sand at the bottom will reinforce the rise. So the heat is not going to get down into that sand to the degree that it might that it does in the water. I don't know if that makes any sense. It makes sense to me, but I never really thought about it. And what's the effect of that? Well, it duplicates nature in a very distinctive way because we know that when you dig down below ground, whatever the ambient temperature is, unless it's the dead of winter, whatever the ambient temperature, the air temperature is, the temperature of that soil under when you get like 6 inches down is going to be lower than the temperature of the air because the earth is cooler than the air, unless there's some kind of thermal vent. But in most cases, that's not the case. So that would be duplicated in this instance, in that the ambient temperature is lower than the heated temperature. In other words, the temperature of the water is higher than the ambient temperature. So the ambient temperature, which means room temperature, is putting pressure on the bottom of the tank, and as the heat rises, which it does, it's being further caused to rise by by reflecting on that sand and causing an upswelling, which would create a thermocline, duplicating the natural environment. I would think that the roots would love that. I think that's really interesting. One more One more aspect of that is that the roots of the plants, it means that the plant in nature is living in a couple of different atmospheric or thermocline environments. I don't know. Fascinating. Thank you, Whip Swirl. Don't do religion anymore. Yeah, I don't either, actually. It's got nothing to do with religion, really. Got more to do with God, which has really nothing, if you think about it, to do with religion. Tank is very colder at the bottom, says Snake. Specialty tanks with heaters. That's right. Some of my glass jug tanks sweat on the bottom. That's very cool. Very cool. Robin, I've noticed the substrate being cooler than water temp. My theory is that the water flows so slowly through the sand that the water channel, that the water cannot heat the sand sufficiently. Now, I believe that's true. In point of fact, I would expect that the ambient temperature of the sand being lower than the water in a heated tank, that sand would actually act as a coolant on the water. Yeah, though a minor one because of how slowly water flows through it. Whew. Going to Fort Myers collecting. No, I'm not. Oh, that's interesting. Thermocline barrier. The bacteria must like it cold. Good point. Yeah, obviously true. Huh. So there are a whole lot of issues here. So, the thing that's so amazing to me about what we're doing and this whole process we're engaged in is that it is very much a process of discovery. We're trying to create, as close as we can, a natural environment. In the process of doing that, all sorts of things are popping up that describe and delineate the natural environment. So we're really learning. We're learning a lot about how nature works by trying to duplicate it in our little tanks. Now, we can't do it 100%. I mean, we don't have the sun beating down on it. We don't have the wind blowing over it. We don't have dirt falling into it. There are a lot of things that prevent us from being able to actually duplicate nature perfectly. But there are a lot of things we can do, and those things are pretty basic. And I think that's all we're really trying to do is achieve some basic, some rudimentary aspects of a natural system that will give us some intuition, some insight into how natural systems work. And we are learning a lot about it. This is a perfect example. That what you just described cannot happen, for example, in a gravel tank. Or certainly it can't happen in a bear tank. So there would be no recognition of that condition unless you've got a very deep substrate that preferably is dirted at the bottom. Just amazing. There are just a whole bunch of things that we now take for granted about deep substrate tanks. And I've noticed that it's finally beginning to impact some of the guys who have been doing or talking about trying to do natural aquariums. They're beginning to realize that there's a difference between making something look natural and making it actually natural. Those are two often very different things. And what passes for looking natural is generally so highly scaped and artistically designed that its primary impact is just that, and really does not contain the elements of a natural system at all. Typically does not. There are some exceptions, and there are some growing exceptions. There are some guys who are doing natural aquariums and really paying attention to what that really means, to how to create a genuinely natural, what I call a natural aquarium, rather than a synthetic natural aquarium. Interesting stuff. Oh my, Hawk caught a triple tail. Wow, I've never caught a triple tail. That's exciting stuff. Congratulations, Hawk. Where did you get it? Father Fish is wearing your, that's right. Mary Page designed this. Mary Page and Cass did this. Isn't that nice? Father Fish Shoal. Keep it dirted. That's available on Teespring. We're trying to get the Teespring store on our YouTube channel. We're going to be able to do it. We just haven't figured it out yet. Let's see. Derry Thompson, think of air temp getting cooler the further from the planet you rise. Similar concept. Heat expands outwardly and throughout. Any wave radiates outwardly, actually, unless forced in a direction. Never thought of that. How would that apply in an aquarium? Heat rising, I guess. And as it rises, it doesn't become more intense, it dissipates. So it's the heat, I don't know. It escapes me. Gets to be too complicated. Mary Page. Hello, Mary Page. Nice to see you. Oh, here it is. Derek. All mediums, air, water, and soil, a temperature closer to the core or center or bottom are seeking equilibrium. The thicker the medium, the longer temp transfer takes from the heat source. So there's a good explanation. What I find interesting, most interesting, 3G is here. He's going to show us this tank. Let me finish this thought and I'll bring him up. Is that our explanations of what we are seeing are our best attempt to understand, and not necessarily what actually is happening. So our explanations, as we struggle with them and struggle with the experiment, with the, what do I want to call it? With the tank. All right. As we struggle with what's happening in that tank, we gain a deeper and deeper understanding. And so our explanations change. But that's really what they are. They're helpful in that it gives us a way to grapple with and hold on to what's going on. But we always have to be challenging that. You know, what we think is happening and what we, at any given point in time, as we get a little further down the road, we realize that that explanation wasn't really nearly deep enough. Interesting stuff. Anyway, proper terminology to express the observations can be pervasive. Well, yeah. Waiting on an order from Roxanne Fox's Fishes in Peplum Creek. Excited. Getting mystery snails. This is Mary. CBD, pygmy core, daisy rice, and plants. Wow. Nice. All right, let's get 3G up here. What are you up to?
Oh, getting ready to go to work
Here's
this
them, so I
morning.
can hear 'em.
How are you this
Hey,
morning, sir?
Good. How are you, 3G?
Wonderful,
Good to
wonderful. I
good
really,
to
you've seen the tank before. I just really wanted to come up here and thank you for your other channel.
Oh, well,
I
thank
think
you.
I think it was a couple of nights ago you spoke to a beautiful young lady,
I
and
did indeed.
and it was very inspirational. I just want
Well,
to thank
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've been wanting to do that for a long time, but haven't known quite how to get at it, and I just sort of finally jumped in. I don't know what motivated me exactly.
you.
But yeah, I'm pleased with it. It's working out. I took a really big leap yesterday and posted a video that is a sinner's prayer for men.
I seen it,
And
yes, sir.
yeah, it's pretty hard stuff. Um, uh, I think there could be a real mixed reaction to it, but it was intended in sincerity and is very much an expression of my spiritual condition that I expect of a lot of other men. So yeah, thank you very much, Fiji. I appreciate that. It's good to
Well,
get that kind of
we need more wisdom like that, so it's very helpful.
thank you. Yeah, amen to that. So how's your tank looking?
Oh man, it's great. I'm loving it.
It is gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah, just real
deep
impressive.
substrate. The deep substrate just makes it it's like cruise control. I don't have to do anything to this tank.
That's literally true. I was talking with a friend the other day who's getting older and likes having tanks but doesn't like all the work. And I said to her, I've got 11 tanks in my little area here. And I probably, other than planting plants and pulling them out and selling them and feeding the fish, I doubt that I've spent more than an hour in the last 6 months actually working on these tanks. I never work on the tanks. I've done one partial water change in 6 months. I've topped off 2 or 3 times on about a monthly basis. And that pretty well lets it out. I don't do anything else. I don't clean. I've got snails and whatnot to keep it clean. I'll even scrape the glass.
Right. I don't have to clean my glass. I set it up about 5 months ago, and it didn't even go through the brown algae stage where they normally go through. When you set up a new tank and brown
Yeah,
algae.
exactly.
Never went through it. Never had a problem with it. It grew right in immediately, and it has been a wonderful tank. I'm thankful to you for showing me this way. This the deep substrate way. I was not aware of it until I seen your channel.
Well, thank you.
And I've been in the hobby. I've been in the hobby since the late 70s.
I know. It's that I don't know. I'm not sure why that's true, except that what we learned about the hobby is so much a product of what manufacturers and merchants tell us, and their orientation is to sell product. And there's not a lot of product involved in doing this.
No, sir, not at all. Not with this method.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, thank you, 3G. I appreciate your support and your confidence, and I love your tank. It's gorgeous.
I love your content on both channels, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm head to work. Have a good day.
You bet. Have a good day. You too.
I'll be praying for your daughter's recovery.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Very nice. It is indeed, isn't it, Mary Page? Very beautiful tank. Oh, that plant all the way to the right. I think I'd have to go back and look at it. Oh, I know what it was. The curly leaf one. It's an Eponygate, I think a crispin. It's a bulb plant. If you ever have a chance to get bulbs, I do sell them here. In fact, I've got some Madagascar lace that just came in. that are popping up. I'm trying to remember where I put them. I think they're in the 40 reader. Those are really special. That's the leaf that has little tiny holes on a kind of a grid. The crispin is beautiful, and they get big. These Aponogetans, the bulb plants, can get very, very large. Deborah Shearer, thank you, Deborah. Dark substrate retains more heat, Paul thinks. Perhaps. I don't know, Paul. It would sort of make sense. So that's really what I'm talking about here. What I was mentioning before is that we take guesses at what's happening. We try to understand what's happening, and we create a thought process and an explanation. And it's important that we not take those explanations too seriously, because they're bound to change. You know, that's really what the scientific method is. You know, when someone says accept the science, they're not talking about science. They're talking about somebody's set of beliefs and buying into that set of beliefs as though it were some sort of absolute. And understanding explanations, ways of describing things is a process, an ongoing process. The way we understand a thing at any given point in time, if we are open and honest and truly investigating, that explanation will change. That's the scientific method, is to constantly be challenging what you think is true. We got a friend down here in the vestibule. Patricia just popped in. Hello, Patricia.
Hello. I wanted to show
I gotta
my
put
tank.
my ears
I don't know
on
how
so I
to flip
can
my camera around though.
There's a little gear. If you press on that, little gear. There you go. No, is that it?
I'm pretty new at this, and
What?
I have the sand, but I don't have the dirt yet. But I'm going to do some.
Oh,
and
okay.
I've got 3 10-gallons here.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. That looks
That's
great.
the main tank. Those are my tetras. And I've got this one. I've got
These
really
look,
nice female
yeah,
babies.
these look really good, Patricia.
And down here, that's my new gourami.
Oh, well. Pretty.
Got a couple big plants in there I'll take out when I get more new ones.
Uh-huh.
And up here, I like to call it my tank of trickery because I put a fish in it, and then I tell my husband to make a bigger tank for the fish. And I just got this better.
We're losing your voice. Make sure
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have
Yeah.
a headset here. But that's
okay.
and I've got one upstairs that started the whole mess. And that's my other bed, and he's quite a character. But that's
Nice.
all I got so far. I'm planning on getting a couple 20-gallon longs.
We're looking at your ear, Patricia.
Oh, because I'm trying to hear the phone.
Oh, that's funny.
But that's my start. My goal is to fill this whole room.
Well, it's wonderful. You're doing really well. It looks great. Good
Thanks for
job.
letting me share.
Oh, you bet.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Very nice, Patricia. Very nice. Oh, Mary Page. Talking to Fish. I didn't realize Fishing was here. Hey, Fishing. Good to see you. Richard McCarthy. That's interesting. See, here we go. Here's Richard. I think dark substrate would absorb more heat from light, but would it be the same for heat from water? It's the nature of heat. I guess that's what we have to look at. Tips on keeping plants alive that you collect from the wild. Many of them died back. Leave the roots in there, Deborah. Very often they'll die back because the leaves, the plant, pardon me, the plant may be growing immersed out of the water. And when you put it in the water, those leaves are not able to function in the water. And so they die, but the plant will grow new leaves that will be aquatic leaves. So that happens pretty routinely. When you bring plants in, what some people do is trim them back hard. They trim all of the old leaves and even trim the root system, which forces the plant to grow more roots and also forces more leaf growth. So don't give up if the plants you bring in die. If they're rooted plants, there's a good chance they're going to grow new leaves, new roots, and will become established in your tank. The globe. What is Snake talking about the globe? Is there a preference? The globe is a religion of pseudoscience belief. Don't know what he means by the globe. Let's see. Can you sell red mangrove seedlings? Yes, absolutely. So long as they do not have a root on them, you can. And they do root quickly. I've got a bunch of them here that I put in a couple of weeks ago, and they're starting to root. Wow. Let me show you this. I was going to pull it out. I don't think I'm going to pull it out. Let me try to get untangled here. Hold on a second. I got the wires wrapped around themselves. All right, look at this. This is a red mangrove. Look at the root. I've now pulled it out, so I've got to stick it back down in there. But it is that root was not there 2 weeks ago. There's another one back there. So they're catching. I'm going to have to take the lid off. Or what I'll probably do, let me see if I can do this and show you. Well, if I can do it with one hand. I've got a hole in. There it is. Good. So if I can keep from knocking that. No, I've got it growing out. And the root down in the dirt. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's another one back there. I need to do the same thing with. So, yes, absolutely can. Now, I can sell those. Lost connection to the camera. Oh, what did I do? Yeah. Lost the camera. Let me try something here. Oh, crap. Honestly, I don't know if you can hear me or not. Seeing your comments and not you. Okay. Need to Reboot. Sit tight. All right, we got the other camera working. I don't know how well I do, Deborah. Oh, glory. Derek, I like to imagine space-time, oh, here we go, as Swiss cheese, and the holes are different world oceans, each being termed a planet. But then I have DID, so don't listen to the crazy person. No crazier than what comes out of NASA or any other scientific endeavor. It's all crazy at a given level, and it's all their attempt. Think of it this way. We are such tiny, inconsequential creatures in this infinitely vast, to our mind at least, universe, that nothing that we can think or say about it bears any effective resemblance to the reality of creation. It's what I'm talking about here. We come up with an explanation for something. You know, people used to think very bizarre things. And don't believe for 1 second that what we believe today is less bizarre than what people believed 100,000 years ago. It's every bit as bizarre. It is our attempt as profoundly limited creatures to get some handle on what's going on around us. And we do the best we can. But don't believe for 1 minute that anybody has got absolute truth, because nobody has got absolute truth, with the single exception that we choose to believe that there is a God, a creator, a consciousness that loves his creation, and that we are a part of that. We know little or nothing about it. But if we can hold on to that, then we've got a way to be able to believe that it's possible to understand anything. I mean, if your notion of reality is chaos, then you really don't have any way to grasp anything, because anything you think is a function of that chaos. So I choose not to live in a universe of chaos. I choose not to think as though I were in a universe of chaos. I choose to think and act as though there are underlying principles, a holistic creation that is good, that establishes values and principles. I mean, our whole scientific method is based on that. It's based on the belief that, that we can understand. That's a screwy rant, but whatever. Let's having trouble. Christina's having trouble with mollies and platties. Got a couple that are just jerks, but beautiful breeding stock. Listen, Christina, take a deep breath. All right. The thing about fish, is that none of them are really very nice. None of them are really very nice. Mary. On that note, Mary Page is here. Let's see what she's got to say about it. Hi, Mary.
Speaking, good morning, Father Fish. Good morning,
Yeah,
everyone.
put my ears on so I can hear you.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm
How
doing
are
well.
you?
How about yourself? I'm doing well. Waiting
This is
on a big order from Roxanne for Foxy Fishes. She's sending me some CPDs, some
wonderful.
picnicorns, some daisy rice fish.
Wonderful.
Let's see what else. Oh, and 2 strains of guppies and mystery snails. And I have a question about platies too, because my
Sure.
platies are really jerks. They are really jerks. See them right there.
Yeah,
Should I remove-
I was. Let me get into this a little more because Christina rather, asked the same thing, and I think it. I remember when I had the shop. Every once in a while, I would get a little old lady who would come in, a very lovely, very genteel, very kind, loving, sweet little old lady would come in, virtually in tears, and she would have a Molly in a little jar, and she would say, "He's so mean. He chases everybody." And, sometimes I would just give her another fish.
Right.
But sometimes I would say, "He's just being happy."
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and well, yes, actually it is. That's exactly what's happening. He's feeling his oats. Here's the thing you need to do. If you see nipped fins, if you see scales missing, if you see a fish being bullied to the point where it's really being seriously injured, then you need to do something about it. But if they're simply chasing each other, that's perfectly normal and acceptable behavior. Fish do that. That's what fish do. Fish chase each other. And if it's a male chasing a female, which is typically what it is,
Like this
or
right here.
yeah, like that right there, exactly. Or maybe a big old female that just doesn't want to be bothered by anybody, and so
Right there.
anybody
she's
comes
running.
anybody comes near, she turns on them and chases them away. Those are normal behaviors. That's not something you need to be worried or upset about. If the fish is being injured, if the fins are getting chewed off, if there are patches where scales have been chewed off or bitten, if the fish is laying on its side gasping, if it's really being bullied to the point where it could be seriously injured or killed, then you need to deal with it. But this kind of chasing around in the tank, that's what fish do. That's perfectly normal, perfectly healthy, perfectly happy. You just got, as I said, some very happy fish. And they look wonderful. They look great, Mary.
Well, this
You
is
do
my
it.
father. This is my best father fish tank I've ever set up, and I used, dirt from my yard to do this
Oh,
with the gravel and
excellent.
everything.
Look at that.
I went out and dug out
Amazing.
dirt. Morgan and
Yeah.
I added. You can kind of see it right here. We added a new cap of sand yesterday. See, we put a little bit.
Some black, it looks good. Yep.
Yeah, and we're using black diamond sandblasting sand. But we had a little mold build up, and instead of, vacuuming it up or whatever people like to do, all we did was cap it, because that'll work down into this bottom layer and just provide more nutrients for the plants. My plants came
Nice.
from Father Fish. He sent me these beautiful, like it's a spiral Jungle Val. I'm not sure what that one is back there. It kind of got choked out by this Pogo stem installatus, but I've cut it back. I did do a big trim on it, and then I've just got the trimmings floating on top to kind of break it up.
Might be Bacopa.
Is that what that is, Clark? Yeah.
Maybe. I can't tell.
And then
for
I've got this. I was thinking this was the Bacopa.
That looks like Bacopa, yes.
Okay, is this a Ludwigia? Maybe.
Could very well be. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Right.
It's something you sent me, and then you sent me these beautiful swords. And this had grown out, immersed, and was growing out, but I had to trim it back because my grandbabies got into it. So,
Ah,
but I'm just running a large sponge filter in here. The substrate does all the filtering. This tank has never had a bit of algae, and it's about 8 months old now. I set it up, and the growth is incredible. It's just a father fish method, and I'm just like, I set this up for my daughter because she doesn't have time. She's got twin daughters that are 3 years old, and she doesn't have time to work on an aquarium. So this has been just wonderful for her. But today I'm getting in new fish, and I'm thinking, I do have another aquarium. I'm thinking about taking these platies out because I'm going to be adding all new fish. And I'm getting CPDs, new guppies, CPDs, daisy rice fish, pygmy cories, and mystery snails. And then there might be some more surprises in there. I don't know. I'll do.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Take those out when you
so
put the new ones in.
Okay, that's
You can
what
always reintroduce them later if you want to.
That's what I
But
was thinking.
by doing that, you're taking fish that are naturally more dominant than the ones you have, than the ones
Right.
you're getting, which could very well cause the new ones problems.
Okay, good deal.
So,
That's
yeah,
what that was my
good
thinking
idea.
too.
Yep,
You just kind of have to
absolutely.
use common sense, when it comes to watching. That's the thing, is watching your fish and seeing
Exactly.
that.
That's
This big
exactly
mama
right.
here, she is, this is her tank, and she's running it. And
Yep.
I'm afraid if I introduce something new, especially small fish, that she might just run them into the ground.
Yep. That could
This
well
has been
happen.
a
Yep.
perfectly healthy tank. There's plenty of babies in there. Even if I remove her, you can't see them right now, but there's a
You're
lot
not
of
going to
babies.
get all the babies.
Yeah,
And
there's a
that's
lot of
fine.
babies back there,
Yeah.
so they can be brought up in it and kind of find their pecking order. But as far as this tank goes, there's our little bristlenose back there. There he is.
Yep, there he is.
And then
You
I
can
have
leave
another.
him in.
I have another pleco in here. I wish I could find it because he was sold to us as a bristlenose, but he's gotten real big real fast. So I'm
Oh, my.
afraid we may have a common pleco in here, and I don't see
probably.
him.
What you need to do is build a pond outside.
Yes.
Sink a tub in the ground or anything.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
I like when
T-Bone,
people
thank
think
you.
the old, the old satellite dishes, take those and make them in the
That's
pond.
a clever idea.
Yes, that makes
Thank
a
you,
wonderful
T-Bone, for
pond.
the sticker.
Thanks, T-Bone. Love you, buddy. Well, I just wanted to stop in and show y'all what I was doing. I wanted to
thank
ask
you, Mary.
about the
That's
flags.
lovely. Wonderful.
And you know how much I love you, and I love everybody in our shoal, and thank you for your support.
Looking forward to. Listen, we need to be thinking about Lee. I saw the note
I
he
saw
sent to
that.
you. Yeah,
I
and
saw that.
replied
I haven't
to it.
answered him yet, but Lee, if
Yeah.
you're watching, we love you, Lee. Come back. We
You
need
betcha.
you.
You betcha.
All right. Well,
Wonderful.
you guys have a blessed day. I hope that I'll be doing an unboxing today. If not, probably tomorrow. But I hope you guys will
Wonderful.
watch it. And
Look forward to it.
yes, well, y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Love you.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
guys.
Thank you, Mary. We're having fun in the chat, aren't we? Might just be the universe experiencing itself. I dare say, Jason, that makes sense to me. We are Daphnia. We are indeed. We are indeed. Snake Plissken has informed us he is a flat earther. Now, I don't want us, in light of what I've been saying, there is no justification for us to put him down or otherwise disdain his commentary. I think preferably we should listen and we should talk. We should also say what we think, as much as we allow him to say what he thinks. So we're all in this together, Snake, and appreciate your support and your energy and your willingness to stick it all out there. Derek Thompson, we are the nutrients of God's garden, constantly recycling ourselves by creating and destroying ourselves and all other life. Simply, it's all nutrients and complexity. If it is all complexly, it is all imagination. There you go. We have philosophers among us here, ontologists, philosophers, aestheticians, geniuses all. This is making me what strong drugs, says Boo Boots. That's all right. Just hang in there, Boo Boots. It'll be fine. You don't need to one up everybody. You can't make a wine, W-H-I-N-E, wah glass out of chaos. You can't make consciousness and love part of chaos. Too true for that. I buy that absolutely. You can't make consciousness and love part of chaos. Amen. Derek says chaos is temporary disorganization. Nature seeks balance. We learned that from Father Fish, which should aspire to be nature's librarians. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too, Derek. Sage Page. Mary, that's Mary Page. I see you spelled it P-A-I-G-E, so we're obviously going to Mary here. The earth is measurably flat. Measurably so. T-Bone, thanks for coming over and thanks for your super sticker. I appreciate it so much. Mermaids has a mean Molly. Mean Mollies. Glitch has some algae covering plants. Is reducing light. Add more plants too. You've got more nutrients than the plants are able to take care of. So you need to cut way back on feeding. Way back. Like feed 10% of what you're feeding now, 10% of the times that you're feeding. That would reduce it by 10 times 10 to 0. So that means you stop feeding altogether. Feed every 2 or 3 days and feed about 1/10 of what you're feeding now. Get more plants in there and it'll turn around pretty quick. Armchair philosophers. It is so, John Sewett. It is so. Bravo. Derek is watching something after the stream. Don't know what. Can you use substrate from saltwater tank when converting it to freshwater? Yes. You can do the opposite as well. Also, will the sand have salt left over that can kill the plants? No. It will be diluted so much that the plants... Let me say something about plants and salt. Most of the plants that we have in our tanks live in brackish water here in Florida. No, it's not brackish like 0.15. It's brackish like 0.05. So it's low brackish, but there is salt in most of the water where most of the plants living in Florida are found. There are exceptions. I collect in an area that has absolutely no salt. In fact, it has a pH of 5.5 with lots of plants in it. I don't think any of those plants are plants that I found in brackish water. Maybe one or two, but mostly not. I think maybe exclusively not. So it varies some, but the plants that we maintain that are most common, the Vallisneria, the Sagittaria, the swords, all of those kinds of plants They do very well in brackish water. Low brackish, not high brackish. A little salt in the water is not going to hurt them at all. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Speaking of babies that father fish, how long should I wait to separate my baby electric blue Ataras from their parents? It's really up to you, Tam. You've been watching them grow up there, what, a month, 6 weeks now? What you could do, here's what you ought to do. Decide how many you want to keep or how many you want to raise up to sell or trade. Take that many out. It should be between 25 and 50%. Take that many out, set them up in their own tank. Now, if you want them to breed again, you're going to have to take all the babies out because they won't breed while they're taking care of babies. At least maybe for another month or two. But if you've got enough and you're satisfied with what you've got, take out the numbers that you want to keep, leave the rest in, and you can start putting other fish back in that tank. The babies are going to get eaten up. They're not going to last in there. But you don't want to try to raise them all. It gets too cumbersome to do that. Unless you got a big enough setup, you can do hundreds of fish. But generally, you really don't want to do that. Derek, my elephant ear betta needed to be separated once I added in my male. Common pleco stew, you betcha. Yeah, the male bettas that have not grown up together do not do well. They tear each other up. Going to the bottom. Chubbs is here. Hey, Chubbs. Nice to see you. Nicole is talking with Glitch, talking about the algae problem. Nicole is one of the people over on Discord that was holding forth every day with very helpful advice. She just became just moved up to breeder status. She's not been with us long, but has really found a home and is making a tremendous contribution to the Discord channel. So we look forward to it. Longer time in service with Nicole Rowe, and very much appreciate her being with us. If you've not checked out Discord, somebody post the link, please. Get over there and see what's going on. J-Dog, do I have female bettas? I'm getting them today. Can my wife bring pumpkin cupcakes to the meeting? We would be saddened if she did not. That would be delightful. Babies have grown quickly. It's been a month, Tam says. Yeah, just pull out the number you want to keep. All right, are we down to the bottom? We're down to the bottom and we're out of time. Let's see if I miss anything that... How long do auto-Scentless fish live? Auto-Scentless. I love it. Auto-Scentless. That means a fish that's always swimming automatically. Otos, O-T-O-C-I-N-C-L-U-S. O-T-O-C-I-N-C-L-U-S. Auto-Scentless. Otos, they live a couple of years, 2-3 years. They don't get big, they stay small. I've got a bunch of them here. They're neat too, they're hardy, they're moving around all the time. They're really cool little fish to have. And a really, really good cleaner. I got about 20 of them and spread them out, and I don't think I've lost one. Which swirl? Got to get off my backside, tear down the current setup, pair my bedded tank into one of your deep substrates. Been saying that for a year and I just haven't been motivated. Well, do it, do it, do it, Whoops World, do it. Okay, I've got to go. I'm supposed to go to cardiac rehab if I can stay awake long enough to do it. Appreciate you all very much. Check you in a number of different other formats hereabouts. Do come over to Discord. Check out my new channel, Lou Foxwell. I will be back Friday at 8:30 for an evening with natural aquarists. Great fun. Bless you all. Thank you for the prayers for my daughter. Very much appreciated. Thank you to those who make donations to the cause. It all helps very much. Love you all. Bye for now. See what that music is. I think I do. Yes.
There's a